Take a look at this. They say that when great players share the same pitch, the show is guaranteed. And this season, Phil Foden and Rayan Cherki have brought the smile back to Manchester City fans. The new French signing has already become the best transfer in the Premier League. No other signing in English football has more goal contributions than Cherki, 11 goal involvements in 17 games across all competitions. And these are not tap-ins or lucky rebounds. Cherki is doing things that only 1% of footballers on the planet can do. Don't believe it? Watch this. Cherki glides past defenders down the wing with ease. He enters the box, looks to create space for a cross, but the defender closes him down. There's no room, no angle. So he pulls out something outrageous, a magnificent Rabona, perfectly weighted, right onto Phil Foden's head, and the Englishman buries it into the back of the net. Pure genius. But Cherki doesn't just create an assist, he scores screamers too. Like the goal against Brentford. A defensive clearance from a corner drops outside the box. In a split second, Cherki reads the situation, shifts the ball away from his marker with elite intelligence and flawless technique. The defender collapses, and the Frenchman unleashes a brutal strike with perfect placement. A goal of pure quality. And yet, this duo is not just about Cherki. Phil Foden has turned into a cold-blooded sniper. Want proof? Ask Borussia Dortmund.
It's Foden again. Oh, this time he finds the finish!
Ask Crystal Palace.
Cherki, beyond Wharton, prods it to Foden. Foden finishes!
But Foden is not only scoring from distance. He is one of Pep Guardiola's most dangerous weapons because of how he attacks space as a second runner. Like against Leeds, where his movement, timing and killer instinct put him in the right place, at the right moment, with just enough space to finish. And he did. These two players are far more important to Pep Guardiola and Manchester City than most people realise. And in this video we're going to show you exactly why. The Foden-Cherki partnership has been bringing huge joy to Manchester City fans. Between them, they already have 25 goal contributions across all competitions, and they've quickly become one of the most feared duos in the Premier League. But to really understand why this connection is so dangerous, we first have to understand what makes these two players special. And it starts with Rayan Cherki. Born in Lyon on the 17th of August 2003, with Algerian roots, Rayan Cherki took his first steps in football at AS Saint-Priest, a local club in the city, before joining the Olympique Lyonnais academy. He was only 7 years old when Lyon brought him in interestingly. The same year, his idol Karim Benzema left Lyon for Real Madrid. Lyon's scouting network is famous across France. The club has a long tradition of identifying almost every top young talent in the region before anyone else can. That system ensured Cherki didn't slip through the cracks. He was exactly the type of player Lyon have always protected and developed. And Lyon don't just produce elite footballers, they have a specific history of creating attacking midfielders and second strikers, the exact role Cherki loves to play. Players like Hatem Ben Arfa, once Newcastle's biggest star, and Nabil Fekir, a World Cup winner in 2018, both came through the same system. Alexandre Lacazette and Malo Gusto are also proof of how strong that academy pipeline is. From a very young age, Cherki's technical quality stood out immediately. He has a flawless first touch, natural balance, and a level of imagination in tight spaces that forces fans out of their seats. He sees solutions where others see pressure. Cherki officially began his organised youth football journey in 2009, joining a Saint-Priest at just 6 years old. 1 year later, in 2010, he moved to Olympique Lyonnais and signed with their under-8 team. From that moment on, his rise was rapid. His technique and football intelligence allowed him to play above his age group, often featuring with older players and being promoted ahead of schedule. By his early teenage years, he was already dominating at under-17 and under-19 level, impressing coaches with his vision, dribbling and creativity. His youth career was full of warning signs for the football world. In the 2018-19 UEFA Youth League, Cherki scored against Manchester City's under-19, becoming the youngest goal scorer in the competition's history at just 15 years and 33 days old. The following season, in the 2019-20 Youth League, he scored 4 goals, playing a key role in Lyon's run and confirming his status as a special creative talent. Cherki's rise into senior football came earlier than almost anyone expected. On 19th October 2019, he made his professional debut for Olympique Lyonnais in a 0-0 Ligue 1 draw against Dijon. coming off the bench at just 16 years and 63 days old. That appearance made him the youngest player in Lyon's history to feature in the French top flight. Just over 2 months later, on the 4th of January 2020, he did it again. Cherki became Lyon's youngest ever goalscorer, finding the net at 16 years and 140 days in a 7-0 Coupe de France win over Bourg-en-Bresse-Péronne. The message was clear. This wasn't hype, this was reality. The 2019-20 season, heavily disrupted by pandemics, still saw Cherki break more records. He became Lyon's youngest ever starter in League One and finished the campaign with 3 goals and 2 assists in 13 appearances across all competitions, playing his part as Lyon reached the Coupe de la Ligue final. For a teenager, it was an extraordinary introduction to elite football. The 2021-22 campaign confirmed that Cherki was no longer a curiosity, he was a first-team player. He featured in 30 matches, scoring 4 goals and delivering 4 assists, including important contributions in Europe as Lyon reached the Europa League round of 16. His confidence on the ball, his bravery in tight spaces, and his creativity under pressure began to define Lyon's attacking play. Over the following seasons, even as Lyon struggled for consistency, Cherki became the creative heartbeat of the team. Between 2019 and 2025, he recorded 14 goals and 27 assists in 146 League One matches, alongside 4 goals and 8 assists in just 12 Europa League games. When Lyon needed imagination, progression, or a moment of inspiration, Cherki was almost always involved. The 2023-24 season showed his growing influence even more clearly. Despite Lyon finishing mid-table, Cherki still produced 1 goal and 6 assists in League One and played a key role in their run to the Coupe de France final, where they eventually lost 2-1 to PSG. Lyon may not have lifted trophies, but Cherki was carrying responsibility far beyond his age. Then came 2024-25, the season that truly put him back on Europe's radar. Individually, it was his best year. 11 assists in League One, tied for the most in the league, plus 9 goals, giving him 20 goal involvements. His performances helped push Lyon up to 5th place, a clear improvement on previous seasons, and underlined his maturity as a playmaker. Off the pitch, his future was always a talking point. Cherki signed his first professional contract on the 7th of July 2019, later extending it to 2024, despite interest from clubs like Arsenal and Real Madrid. With his contract nearing its end, Lyon agreed a 1-year extension to 2025 in August 2024, ensuring he could leave in a structured transfer rather than for free. By early 2025, Premier League interest was intense, with Manchester United and Liverpool heavily linked. But on 10 June 2025, Lyon made it official. Rayan Cherki joined Manchester City for €36.5 million, rising to €42.5 million with add-ons. After 6 formative years at his boyhood club, Cherki chose a new challenge, openly admitting that financial limits at Lyon had capped the project's ceiling. He left Lyon without major honours, but with something arguably more important: elite-level experience, responsibility, and a creative identity fully forged. Cherki's rise did not stop at club level. In May 2025, he earned his first call-up to the France senior national team, when Didier Deschamps included him in the 25-man squad for the UEFA Nations League finals in Germany, a clear reward for his standout performances with Lyon during the 2024-25 League One season. His debut could not have been more dramatic. On the 5th of June 2025, Cherki came off the bench in the 63rd minute of the Nations League semi-final against Spain, with France already 5-1 down. What followed changed the tone of the match completely. In just 27 minutes, Cherki smashed a stunning volley from outside the box to pull 1 goal back, then delivered an assist for Malo Gusto, helping France mount a furious comeback. The game finished 5-4, a defeat on paper, but a statement performance from a debutant under maximum pressure. Any new Manchester City signing has to face the same brutal question: can you adapt to Guardiola, or will Guardiola suffocate you? With Cherki, the answer arrived fast. Despite his age, the France international looks ready-made for this system. Like City's latest silky attacker, it was built in a Guardiola lab. Cherki has been a familiar name in Europe for years, but last season was the real signal. 12 goals and 20 assists in 44 games showed he was ready for the next step, and City looked like the perfect destination. Since arriving, he already has 6 assists in 6 Premier League starts, even after missing 6 weeks with a thigh injury. That alone tells you how quickly he has settled. Cherki is fearless but fun. He wears the number 10, yet Guardiola often uses him off the right, where he can hurt teams in different ways. He is just as comfortable with his left foot as his right, which makes him unpredictable for defenders who never quite know which way he will go. He plays with tricks and flicks, but not at crazy speed. His game is about balance, control and intelligence, like the assist for Foden against Crystal Palace, where Cherki glided through midfield, waited for the perfect moment, and then slipped the ball into his teammate's path, and he can finish too. Against Borussia Dortmund, 2 defenders could not even get close, as he carried the ball between them, entered the box, and smashed in a stunning goal. This is why Cherki fits Guardiola's tactical world so well. He is a special talent who can interpret different game plans and still give maximum value. When City need fast transitions, Cherki's vision allows him to make decisions in milliseconds. We saw it when he spotted Haaland's movement and delivered a perfect headed assist that left the Norwegian one-on-one with the goalkeeper. Minutes later, he read the same run again and played Haaland through once more. That understanding's already polished. Cherki's vision, skill and mentality make him a different level of player. He is also a clutch player for Guardiola. Against Leeds, with the game tied at 2-2 late on, Cherki picked up the ball on the wing. Instead of crossing, he attacked his man, waited, and chose the best option, Phil Foden. The control was messy, the movement was sharp, and the finish was lethal. A massive goal in the title race. And let's not forget, Cherki has serious end product himself. He strikes the ball beautifully from distance, often creating space with his ultra-quick dribbling, like we saw against Wolves, where he opened his body and finished with pure magic. So yes, Guardiola brought the French crown jewel to the Premier League, a player who makes Manchester City even more unique. A Frenchman who can do things only 1% of footballers on the planet can do. After an exceptional 2023-2024 season with Manchester City, Phil Foden's career, both for club and country, looked like it might be stalling. Now, with a new role under Pep Guardiola, he looks better than ever.
Here's Phil Foden.
Foden enjoyed the best season of his club career, posting career-high numbers in the Premier League with 19 goals and 8 assists, and a stunning 39 goal involvements in 53 games across all competitions, 13 more than in any of his previous 6 seasons as a professional.
Goes Foden, keeps going, scores!
He was City's standout star on the way to a record-breaking 4th consecutive Premier League title.
Sells back into shape again, the cross from De Bruyne is a goal!
And his impact was recognised with the Premier League Player of the Season, FWA Footballer of the Year, and PFA Players Player of the Year awards. So when Phil Foden picked up the ball on the edge of the box at Selhurst Park in the 69th minute against Crystal Palace, with a clear sight of goal, most people watching already knew what was coming. One touch to set himself, a clean strike, and the ball was beyond Dean Henderson's reach. Another classic Foden goal. It was his 4th Premier League game in a row scoring, matching his best run in the competition. With 7 goals and 2 assists, Foden has already been directly involved in 9 Premier League goals this season, the same number he managed last season, but in half the games 14 compared to 28. Across all competitions, he's already gone past last season's total of 15 goal involvements, doing it in 19 fewer matches, with 13 goals and 5 assists in 25-20-26. That goal against Palace was pure Foden. It was his 12th Premier League goal from outside the box, and his 8th since the start of 2023-2024.
And lose it, Foden in a shooting position and score!
In that period, no player has scored more long-range goals in the league. And across all competitions in Europe's top 5 leagues, only Kylian Mbappe has more goals than Foden. One of English football's brightest talents, Foden now sits on 98 Premier League goal involvement, 68 goals and 30 assists.
It's Haaland, it's cleared only as far as Foden! 1-1!
With 5 months to go before his 26th birthday in May 2026, it feels inevitable that he will become just the 20th player to reach 100 goal involvements in the Premier League before turning 26. What makes this even more impressive is the consistency. 61 of those contributions have come in the last 4 seasons, placing him 8th in the league over that period. When you look at minutes per goal involvement, he ranks 5th among players with at least 50 goal involvement since 2022-2023, producing 1 every 125 minutes, even slightly more often than Bukayo Saka.
I'm looking at it and I'm thinking it took a big deflection.
Oh, you're right.
Foden is hitting his peak at the perfect moment, not just for Manchester City, but potentially for England too. And in 2025-2026, Guardiola has started using him in a deeper role than we've seen before, and that changed everything. Playing on the left side of a midfield three in a 4-3-3, Phil Foden's new role has completely changed how he influences games. Instead of only creating or finishing moves, he's now far more involved in building Manchester City's attacks from deeper areas. Across all competitions, 77% of his minutes have come in central midfield, a massive shift compared to last season, when that figure was just 24% and less than 10% in each of the 3 campaigns before that. In many ways, Foden's role has gone full circle. This was exactly where he played during his breakthrough season in 2018-2019, when all of his 1,112 minutes came as a number 8 in a 4-3-3, and City went on to win the domestic treble. As Pep Guardiola said recently, this season is the Phil we met a long time ago. Playing deeper means Foden now receives the ball far more often in his own half, trusted to act as a facilitator in City's build-up play. Statistically, this evolution is crystal clear. Excluding his early seasons with limited minutes, Foden is averaging the second highest number of successful passes per 90 in his Premier League career at 46.2, just behind last season's peak of 46.7. His 17.5 successful passes per 90 in his own half is the highest figure he has ever recorded in a league season, while his 13.7 passes per 90, ending in the final third, is by far his lowest. That is 5 fewer than last season and 7 fewer than in 2023-24, showing just how much deeper he is operating. This season, 33.9% of Foden's touches have come in the defensive half, the highest proportion of his career. To put that into perspective, it was 20.8% last season and 22.2% in his standout 2023-24 campaign. Incredibly, despite playing 642 fewer minutes, he has already had more touches in his own half this season than he did across the whole of last year.